only permitted, it is encouraged, and in this case, Mr. Joe Ellis has done just that. So please put your hands together for Joe Ellis, everybody. Assassin of comedy.
That's right.
I love you, Joe.
Yeah.
And then I laughed at that because I've been there, man. I gave up on buying my own shampoo. I got 2 kids and a wife. I just use the girly shit. I don't give a fuck anymore. I really don't care what girls think I smell like.
And perfume, too.
I don't wear perfume. Only on Wednesdays. This is Thursday. It's all about jokes. Wednesday night's all about the dresses, okay? That's when I'm on the other side of town. Hey. So I saw a really funny homeless sign today. A lady was holding up a homeless sign and it said, "Truly homeless and hungry, but not hopeless." Problem was, she had the sign upside down. Okay, you might not be hopeless, but you're a little bit helpless. I'm just letting you know. And of course, I've seen a lot of funny signs. Like one time I saw a sign that said, "Mother of 4 needs help, but is being held by a dude." And I was like, either you are a dude or you are one very ugly mother. And your kids just need to be taken away from you. But I want to see some honest signs out there. I want to see a hot chick with no boobs out there with a sign going, "Need money for boob job." Or you'll see some guy like me with a sign out there that says, "Need money for weed." Yo, man, I smoked my last dime. Hook a brother up. But I want to own a restaurant someday. And I want to make it the anti-healthy restaurant. You know when you go to Dunkin' Donuts and you see that queer little running man? This is a healthy food. Yeah, I want a picture of a fist punching a heart. I want someone to ask, "What does that mean?" "Oh, that meal comes with a free call to the ambulance. So eat up." And I also want to have my restaurant so I can have funny fortune cookies. Just so I can write stupid shit on the fortune cookies like, "Bananas will float on the water. A bicycle built for 2 is not meant for mountain climbing. If it burns while you pee, see a doctor." Well, that's more practical advice, really. So ladies, I want to ask you all a question real quick. Ladies. Do you like a man to be honest with you?
Some of the time.
Yeah, you want an honest guy, right? You want a guy who's always honest and truthful. I have a friend who told me once that his wife proclaimed to him that if you ever call me a bitch, I'm going to give you divorce papers. Okay. Now, I will never ever needlessly call my woman a bitch. But when she's acting like a bitch, oh, I'm going to call her a bitch. Oh, yes, sir, I will call her on it. And it's not because I want to call her a bitch. It's because I'm letting her know, you're being a bitch. Keep going, you're going to be a C word. Cunt. If you remember earlier in the day, people were slapping the cunt, so. Slapping the cunt. But I do love my girl. We've been together for 12 years. And I think that's, thank you. And I think that's mainly because, one, we have 2 kids, and neither of us want to be alone with them for too long a period of time. We're afraid that we might do something we're going to regret. And number 2 is because we smoke weed. And I think that the couple that smokes together stays together. Not because you want to, really, but because you can never find your fucking keys. You're all pissed off. "Fucking bitch, I hate you! I fucking hate you! Where are my keys? Fuck! Screw it. I'm just gonna sit down and watch Survivor." I give up. And then you forget why you're mad after you're smoking blunt, so it's all good. But I also am lucky enough to have married the hot chick in my family. Or in my girl's family, I should say. Yeah. I married the hot chick in my family, that's right. I'm from northern Maine. Way up in the boondocks. No. I married the hot chick in my girl's family. And it's a good thing because, you know, she's the hot one. But she's always trying to tell me how, "Oh, my cousin looks cute here, or my other cousin looks cute here." And I'm like, "Honey, your family's full of ugly people." And she'll try to talk me out of it, like, "Oh, well, this cousin's cuter than this cousin." Well, that may be true. But then again, my foot is more attractive than my ass. But I'm sure none of you want to see them. I'm positive about that. I don't want anybody throwing up in here. I'm just saying.
Dump them out.
And I've always been put in some weird predicaments with my girl. Like one time we were down on vacation in Florida and we happened to be staying with my grandparents-in-law. And one night they were out on the town and we were like, hey, the kids are asleep. They're out of the house. Yeah. But we had to be really fast because they might come back at any moment. So I had sex so fast that I ended up getting a cramp. So the in-laws are going to be home at any moment. And I am on the floor in the fetal position and my pants are on my ankles. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I just wait for them to walk through the door and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Funny story. I got raped by 2 Mexican guys and they stole your television. I don't know. I'm sorry. So my girl was taking a sex quiz the other day. One of those cosmopolitan sex quizzes. You know, the guys might not know about them, but you girls will know about them, and any guy with a wife. And while she's taking the quiz, I'm just thinking in my head, God, I hope you get a better score on that quiz than the quiz I gave you last night. Because your lack of effort was completely unacceptable. And the lack of oral presentation was just disappointing. Just disappointing. My daughter scared me last week. We took her out to dinner. And she had not eaten any of her dinner, and she started begging for ice cream. And I'm like, no, you can't have any ice cream until you eat your dinner. And then my daughter, like a demon possessed her, looked at me, picked up her fork, and went, Daddy, if you don't give me my ice cream, I'm going to cut your head off and watch the blood flow. So now I'm terrified. I'm afraid I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night and she was standing above my bed. Daddy, I want some Reese's. So if anyone knows a good exorcist, hit me up on Facebook. So a friend of mine's dad tried telling me his version of the truth the other day, which just made me think in my head that your truth is not necessarily going to be everybody else's truth. He looked at me and said, do you want to know the secret to a perfect marriage? And I said, what's that? Saying yes, dear, and walking away? No! The secret to a perfect marriage is you gotta have your wife lick your ass. No! Why not? Because that is just not fair for anybody involved. I don't know about you skinny people, but us fat people, we suffer from what's called fat anatomy, which means after a long, hard day, we have a condition known as swamp ass, and you don't want to go down there. Nobody wants to go down there. I don't want to go down there, but I have to. Somebody's got to clean it. Then, of course, that made me think of the stuff like, what were the origins of anal sex? Was a caveman having sex with his girl one day, and he went, well, I can do that hole. Why can't I do that hole? So he just went ahead and did it. Then afterwards, like, man, that wasn't bad. Oh, man! Hey, Ugg, smell this. And that was the beginning of the courtesy sniff. Oh, let's see. I got a couple more jokes. One time I went hanging out with a friend of mine. We were on the internet just watching videos. And I go to the bathroom, I come back on, he's on Craigslist, and I'm like, why are you in the gay section of Craigslist? Is there something you want to tell me? Because you can just leave if you want to. And he said, no, dude, look at this. And it was a friend of ours on the gay section of Craigslist. Dick out. Selling himself. I'm like, Hey, yo, Holmes. Yeah, no, I'm just surfing the internet. You got something you want to share with the group there, buddy? Come on, pal. Alright, I'll leave it with this. I one time went out to a bar with a friend of mine, and my friend is horrible at picking up chicks. He's the type of guy that will see a chunky bartender and go, hey, I see you got some extra padding. I do too. Maybe we can make this work. No luck with the ladies. But I'm getting the wave. So he picks up his chick, and he's talking to this girl at the bar, and he comes back to us, and he's like, hey, the girl wants me to go home with her. So why are you talking to me? So he goes home with her, and the next day he calls me up, and I'm like, so how was it? He's like, oh, dude, I was making out with her, and then I reached downstairs, and I found a surprise. So you're telling me you took home a dude? Yeah. So you punched him in the face and you ran away, right? Well, that's what I was thinking about at first. But then he told me that I could tuck it down underneath and I'd never notice. Dude, don't admit to me that you just had sex with another dude. Lie to me. Tell me you beat him up and you ran away or something. Tell me you got mugged, but don't admit to me you had sex with another dude. That's just wrong. So now we all call him Tuck Tuck. Alright, that's my jokes for the night. I hope I made some of you laugh. I'll give it back to our host, Paul Hutt.
Joe Ellis, everybody, who'd like to remind you that the appropriate response to gay sex is to beat him up and run.
That's right.
His words, not mine. This is a song about chicks from Lewiston.